And a good Thursday afternoon, friends. I'm meteorologist Tim Pandajis here at the KHOU 11 Weather Center. We are tracking rain across the area, but the majority of you saying, where is the rain? Especially well west of I-45. The majority of the action has been south of I-10 and to the east of I-45 out towards the Galveston area, out into Chambers County, where that is where the rain continues to fall at this hour. In fact, you see it on radar here. That's where it's been heaviest over the past several hours. Look at the last 2-hour loop there. You can even see a little bit of a spin in the atmosphere here, getting a feed in off the Gulf of Mexico and then wrapping around. That's a mesoscale feature there. That's unusual. It kind of develops into a cluster of thunderstorms and takes on a life of its own. It's starting to wane a little bit though, and will be the only feature that brings us rain here for the next several hours, aside from maybe an isolated shower or downpour like we're seeing well to the north near the Huntsville area moving through Grimes. So not much out there, unfortunately. Cloudy everywhere, but those clouds are failing to produce much in the way of any rainfall. In fact, let's go back even farther and show you pretty much all the daylight hours. We'll go back the last 12 hours here on radar. You can see all at the coast. It kind of hugged the I-10 corridor and then really started to fizzle on out just within the last couple of hours. There's been some lightning in there as well, mainly isolated to coastal areas, but the majority of the moisture still remains to our south, well over the Gulf of Mexico. So here's the bigger picture. We've got that spin, that overall broad area of low pressure. That is Invest 95L. Now, looking at this at face value, you'd see that spin in the atmosphere, that mesoscale feature we just talked about, as being the center of Invest 95L. That is not the case. That center is still well to the southwest of us, just offshore of Corpus Christi. It is void of much in the way of cloud cover or rain activity because it is dealing with some shear. That's really what's kept it from organizing very much. All of the activity associated with 95L is dislocated from its center and displaced off towards the east of that center there and getting shoved northward. So that feeder band of tropical moisture, that conveyor belt, likely setting on up to our east as we head through at least the next couple of hours. There are some models indicating that it does set up farther to the west overnight and into early tomorrow morning. I'm going to show you that model here in just a second. So let's take a look at how things look on rain totals for today. And it really tells the whole story, right? Most locations picking up 0, nada. But places like Galveston, up and over an inch. Beaumont, an inch and a third. 1/100th of an inch reported at Hobby. So here's the latest on Invest 95L. Not much change. It's still just a festering area of convection or thunderstorm activity that's trying to get its act together. It's got a very favorable environment overall, aside from the wind shear, very warm sea surface temperatures, but 40% chance of development there still before it makes itself on land, which will do so overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning. It's a little bit easier to see here the center of rotation with Invest 95L on visible satellite. It is now moving off towards the north, but you can see that low-level feature here. The lower clouds are pivoting around that center. The wind shear is blowing off all the convection, the thicker cloud cover to the east and northeast of that center there. It's starting to lift its way north, and if it does so, it's going to pass by to our west and inland. So models have been struggling to really figure out where this is going because there has not been a really defined center of circulation. So models have been guessing where it's at and giving us a solution based on that, which is why there's such a large spread for a relatively short duration of time, a forecast event for this particular area of low pressure as it lifts north. Some take it much farther to the west and inland. More and more model consensus here to have it tracking over just to the west of Houston, but through southeast Texas over the next 24 hours or so, and then picking up forward speed as it lifts off to the north. So here's how future models see things. We're going off a short-range model that's a little bit higher resolution and higher detail, so it gives us more of a feel of how things will play out for the next 24 hours. So here we are currently. It's a pretty good diagnostic of what's going on now. We have those rain showers out there now. It depicts those nicely. Going into 8 o'clock tonight, we see those showers really start to fizzle. Still some isolated showers and downpours out there. Can't be ruled out, but nothing widespread. Now, by midnight tonight, this is when I think we'll start to see activity start to flare back up. Notice what happens off to the south. We see more downpours developing, but most of them hugging the coast like we saw earlier today. And then by early tomorrow morning, we see that kind of generate and lift off to the north. Remember how I mentioned most of it setting up to the east? There's that conveyor belt of tropical moisture setting up most recent run here as we speak. I'm seeing this for the first time as well. This just came out, showing it off to our east, majority of that rainfall into early tomorrow morning, into the evening hours, winding down. So most areas along and west of I-45. I mean, look at these brand new models that just came out. Hardly seeing anything at all, unfortunately, because we need that rain. It's just likely not going to come from this particular event along into the west of I-45. East of there, however, coastal areas, Crystal Beach, Galveston, additional from what we've already seen through tomorrow evening, another several inches of rain. That's good news for you because you're also dealing with extreme drought conditions, so that'll certainly put a big dent in that, but most of us not getting a whole lot of rain out of this. So I expect this to also be kind of downgraded as we go through the next couple of hours here. This is from the WPC, and this is an outlook on flood potential, and it goes on a grade of 4 different categories. So marginal, slight, moderate, and high, and this is for tonight up to a slight risk, pretty much all areas south of I-10. I don't think that's very likely anymore. And then as we head into tomorrow, that spreads farther to the north. I think this is more of an impact event farther to the east and not encompassing most of our area there. However, there still is a flood watch that's up for these areas just in case we see those downpours develop. If we do, I don't think it'll be a long duration rain event enough to cause much in the way of major flooding at all. Some street flooding if the downpour is heavy enough and it moves slow enough, but not likely a widespread event. So this flood watch is up until 7 p.m. tomorrow. I don't really think it's going to be necessary through that entire duration. So here's how things look as we head into the 4th of July holiday weekend. This event will not be impacting the majority of any outdoor plans that you have. Saturday, the risk is there for a 30% chance of an isolated shower or storm. Most of that will be early in the morning. On Sunday, a 20% chance there, just a pop-up shower or storm driven by the daytime heating. It'll be in the mid-90s, hot and humid day. 4th of July itself, fireworks, I don't think will be threatened by any rain chances. A little bit hotter. We'll still keep that 20% chance in, just driven by the daytime heating late in the afternoon. So we've got that area out in the Gulf, and we've also got 2 other areas to watch out in the tropical Atlantic. In fact, in the Caribbean, there's one wave, and then we still got PTC number 2. This has been on the struggle bus for days. It is not getting its act together. It's still moving too fast, even though it was forecast by models to slow down significantly and develop a defined center. It is yet to do so, and where the models are saying that it may be located, look at how dispersed all the convection or activity is. There's nothing really confined or organized around the center. So Hurricane Hunter aircraft are out in this again to see if there may be some sort of defined circulation. I doubt they'll really find anything, so we'll keep it out of PTC at least for a little while longer until it really slows down and takes advantage of those warm ocean waters. So our 7-day outlook does have temperatures staying up into the mid-90s in most locations. We're going to be on air with the updated forecast models for you. We get them every hour, so we'll have a brand new run at 4 o'clock. Me and Kim Castro will be on air 4, 5, and 6, and I'll also see you at 10 tonight.